Nigeria, one Nigeria. Are we truly one Nigeria? Or will we talk from out? One Nigeria. Fellow country people, make una help me watch this video. I'm gonna watch.
It is high time for us to be rewarding performance, to be rewarding competency, and to pay attention to the zone of influence in all our appointments. The moment you keep consolidating or kind of distributing position to places where there is failure, you are like incentivizing failure. Why are you going to carry Senate presidency to the zone, for instance, let us say Southeast, that gave us 1.5% of the total vote that produced the presidency? Or maybe if you go back to the South-South, that gave us 8.7%. Meanwhile, the Northwest gave 30%. 30% of the total vote that produced the presidency is coming from the Northwest. So therefore, it is very, very important for us to ensure that we produce the Senate presidency from the zone where we get mass, so that we can keep appreciating more for giving us more as much as possible, so that the next time when we come to ask for them, they will give us more because we have appreciated their giving. But the situation whereby we carry it to dump in a place where we did not get the value that we are supposed to
get. So you're saying now it's about the party politics that should pretend over the wish of Nigeria. And I ask you that, marry that with the fact that does religion not matter anymore? Because as it stands right now, the president-elect is a Muslim.
Yes.
The vice president-elect is a Muslim. And you're pushing for the Northwest. And of course, looking at all those who've indicated their interest, they're all Muslims as well.
Yeah. Northwest is a zone. And in National Assembly politics, we don't have anything called religion. Right? It is something that has to do with the zone of power, because most of those representatives come to represent zones in their state. So you need to look at it based on these zones, and you have to also appreciate the key performance indicators that give us the win. Because if we don't win election, we can't sit and be talking this way here. So as much as possible, we have to incentivize the area where we get our votes as much as possible, especially Kano. You know, Kano is the state where we always regularly record the highest amount of votes in this country. And now it was clear that we are likely, with the outcome of the last election, we've lost Kano. Even though we get about 513,000 votes, but we lost Kano. But then we have a senator from that same Kano who was able to defeat the Konkwasiya tsunami that swept Kano and come to the center. So that is the kind of person we need to empower, we need to incentivize, so that we can reclaim Kano in 2027.
Okay, now,
yes.
Who wanna see for that video where they make that argument? In name na Adamu Garuba. Him now one person will come outside say he won't become the president of Nigeria under APC. But as APC come place their fund price, presidential fund price, they say na 100 million naira. This guy, him come outside talk say, look, I don't get 100 million naira to contest for this election. Make Nigerians donate for him. As nobody donates, him withdraw. He enter back inside. Now him come outside now. They give another argument. Say, look, there is no need for inclusive government. There is no need for federal character. Where we say everybody will be carried along. If Tinubu is sworn in as president, he should work with people that gave him maximum vote during the last election. People will give her 1%. They're not supposed even see Senate president collect. Those will give her 5%. They're not supposed to see anything collect. Now that region will give him 30%. Now where him supposed go collect all in appointments. When I hear me. And now where him go support any candidate where they contest for Senate president or House of Rep. Yo, one Nigeria indeed. This is what they pay me now say. We never ever learn from the experiences of the past or even from other people. We have not. We are still playing this ethnic and religious bigotry card. Like say, now it be the way forward for this country. You don't need anybody to tell you say that's Adamu Garuba when they talk inside that place. In only message now say look, now we supposed to collect everything inside this country. Other regions, let them be. Make I remind you, say election na time where person go come out choose a leader. Anybody where me I choose to vote for, now who I go vote for. Now my right be that. Una dey hear me? And it's also my right to be included in the government of this country. These are two rights we I get for this country. So because say I vote for candidates, we no come win the election, then the person will come win, come talk say my region will no vote for them, will not be carried along, or appointment, or senate president, or speaker house of rep, they will not be considered for it. That's now balderdash, and we fit enter another wahala, another mistake for this country. We never learn for this country. Let's take the story of Rwanda. Yes, the Hutus, which are the majority, and the Tutsi, which are the minority. Now things like this cause problem inside Rwanda. When one region come outside say, now them be the dominating region, now them get the population. So therefore, everything will concern this country, now them. And then the Tutsi, they see them say, look, we are the minority, we can eliminate you guys anytime, any day. When the Tutsis now say, look, we are part and parcel of this country, you cannot just ignore us like that. Now waiting caused that genocide of 1994, where the war starts from 7th April to 15th July 1994. In that war alone, more than 1 million people lost their lives in these 100 days. 100 days, 1 million people lost their lives in Rwanda. In Rwanda, East African country, inside this African country. Make I allow you watch this video. Maybe we could get sense more. I'm gonna watch.
On the 7th of April every year, the people of Rwanda converge on the Kigali Genocide Memorial to commemorate the International Day of Reflection on the Genocide in Rwanda, designated by the United Nations General Assembly.
We need over 1 million eyes to see that genocide is the shame to the human race. We lose from the pain.
Memorial sites are built to keep records, keep memories, but learning. So the place itself, like the place that we are at now, is dedicated to remembrance and learning, and we've got 235 memorials across the country, though Kigali Genocide Memorial, where we are, is the main one. We've got over 250,000 people buried, and there's the concrete. So each concrete has between 6 to 7 meters deep. They're all filled with the coffins, and the coffin can have a family, more than family inside. So that's the image of this place, and it's considered as the main genocide memorial you have across the country.
In Rwanda, in less than a week, over 1 million people lost their lives just because of ethnic differences. And I think in taking lessons for Nigeria, we must understand that we must do away with these rhetorics, with this sentiment and the hate speech, misinformation and disinformation. We must look at what unites us as a people.
If you look at Kigali today, you can see that after the crisis, the people have resolved to ensure that they change the fortunes of their country, and you can see it's a country that everybody wants to come today, which is now serving as an example of people working together. And that's why our own nation, we must ensure that leaders stop this hate speech that we are doing in our country and begin to promote peaceful coexistence.
The Nigerians who fought the civil war between 1967 and 1970, some of them are still alive, including the president of Nigeria. He was a commanding general in the war. Yet we have no public documentation of the tragedies of those periods. So coming to this place, just merely looking at the trees, they tell you the story. Trees represent eternity. Trees represent memory. Trees represent life. They represent the future. So Nigerian rulers, Nigerian leaders should rather choose to be called leaders and not rulers. Nigeria fought 30 months of bloody war. war that eliminated more than 2 million people. Today in Nigeria, there's no semblance, there's no symbol, there is no memorial, there's no public documentation, no record of the tragedies of 1967 and 1970.
Una see am for una self, una don't hear about una self. Me, I call the evil reason. Maybe when we know the consider events of the past and pay respect to them. Now because we no get any record. There is no record anywhere. There is no museum. There is nothing like there is no remembrance day inside this country. We go fit use remember things wey happen in the past. We go fit correct the future. The civil war that lasted from 1967 to 1970 that claimed the lives of more than 3 million people. When I mean people, women and children. Now something we suppose give us sense inside this country, just like Rwanda has done. Their own events don't give them sense. We make their president Paul Kagame come unite everybody, come build infrastructures, make sure say the country now where people feel come in, relax, learn from their mistakes and go back and make their own country a better place. But here in Nigeria, there is no such remembrance day. Is there any day that will remember the Civil War? No. So we know they even consider them as any important event will happen for this country where we suppose learn from. And now why would they make our mistakes? And now why person like Adamu Garuba will come out talk all this rubbish where him talk? We know even reflects what we call federal character inside this country. Nigeria and Nigerians, it is time to learn from history. It is time to learn from history. Una dey hear me? Something no dey happen to person 2 times. First fool, no be fool. Second fool, na proper fool. Let not the events of the past repeat itself in Nigeria. And now our leaders go make sure say it no happen. Our religious leaders don't come outside during this event of Easter. They don't come outside, can't tell everybody, say, look, all these court cases, all these litigations where they inside court, where concern the presidential election. So make we calm down now. Make all these cases be decided first before any swearing in will happen on the 29th of May 2023. So that this country can heal and there will be no agitations anywhere. Una dey hear me? Make you not be like say I dey talk with na no. Help me watch this video.
In countries like Kenya, where we taught them the judiciary, they don't swear in a president, they swift into action, they handle all the cases before the swearing in date. So why are we delaying in Nigeria? Are we delaying because we want to collect the allowances? Are we delaying because corruption have eaten everything? There is nothing difficult about this case. In less than 30 days, we can dispense of every case. Election will finish in February. Swearing in will be the end of May. And yet, the cases have not been scratched. What a nation. So for me, what is not in the Nigerian constitution is not in the Nigerian constitution. I know Nigeria is a wonderful country. The doctrine of necessity, they call it. How necessary is that doctrine of necessity?
When things go wrong and elders don't come out to say it, is a problem. My people will always say, Ahu ekuhi na-egbu okenye. Ekwuo anogi na-egbu nwatakịrị. In English, if I see something and I don't say it, now waiting they kill a adult. But if I talk, you know, listen. Now waiting they kill the children. Now proverb be that. Make we kukuma listen to these elders. These are religious elders. The civil society organizations in Nigeria don't also come out talk the same thing. Election was done on the 25th of February. Swearing in at 29th of May. We have plenty time to do it, to decide these cases inside court and make sure that the Supreme Court has spoken before anybody can be sworn in. Now only this process will bring about peace and stability inside this country. Make we no come dey baptalize this country, say they go swear in and litigation still dey for inside court. Let us learn from the events of the past and be wise. Incoming government, whoever it be, make I advise una now. Una see that civil war that lasted 3 years, 1967 to 1970, that saw more than 3 million women and children killed. We must set aside a day to remember those things. Now wetin go fit help us make our head dey work, make our brain dey for inside wetin we dey do. Una dey hear me? This country is bigger than any personal ambition. We are Nigerians. Una dey hear me? And everybody must be carried along. Thank you guys for listening again today. Una dey hear me? I go see una later. I beg. If you like this update, subscribe to my channel. I beg. Because Ejo da Allah. Subscribe.